Hello everyone, welcome back to Third Element Chain Tutorials. I think a lot of us have come across some old duotone pictures that have passed down from one generation to the next. And so I found one myself in an album, and I want to show you how to restore it and make it more presentable. So inside Photoshop and inside this photo restore file, the first thing I want to do is to isolate the man's silhouette from the background. So for that I'm going to use this quick selection tool, and I'm going to click and drag around to make a quick selection. Now if you don't get everything straight away, as often it happens with selection tools, hold down the Alt key or the Option key on the Mac and subtract from that selection. So click and drag. Also here, let's zoom in just a bit. I can improve this area here, so back to tool, hold down the Alt key or the Option key on the Mac and subtract from that selection. Zoom out, select, inverse the selection. Alright, now we make a quick selection. So what I want to do is I want to improve that selection, and I want to improve on the hair, basically on the hair actually. So I'm going to go back to the quick selection tool, and I'm going to select this refine edge to improve my selection. Alright, now I'm going to drag to create more real estate, so because I want to zoom in and focus on the man's hair. Alright, let's talk about this refine edge. Now the first thing you see is the view mode. Now the view mode drop-down menu, we can see different ways to view our final selection. Myself, I like to view my subject on a white background or as a silhouette here. So let's keep it on black for now. But let me remind you, every example is different. Now under this edge detection, we can see this radius slider. Now this radius slider is used to modify the way the refine mask calculates the mask edge. So if you want to modify the mask, start increasing the radius, and that's what we're going to do here. I'm going to exaggerate a bit because I want to show you what happens. Now what happens is if I just increase the radius, Photoshop produces inaccurate selection. But if I check this, if I select the smart radius, Photoshop does its magic. What it does basically is tries to distinguish between hard and soft edges. Now I'm going to use the refine edge brush, which is right here, and I'm going to paint over the edges and try to add some of the hair that it was not selected before, and basically tell Photoshop which areas to concentrate on. Now before I continue here, I'll make sure that I decrease the radius. Let's see, to like 3 pixels or so. I'm going to select the refine edge brush, holding down the space bar on my keyboard to pan up and down, left and right. Okay, I'm going to decrease the size of the brush, and I'm going to tap the left bracket for that, or the right bracket to increase it. I'm going to paint all around the hair, and Photoshop will select, it's going to go deep and select some of these edges and do a better job with the hair. Okay. Alright, now under the adjust edge, I'm just going to feather this just a bit, just a tad. So I'm going to say 0.5, very small change. Okay, I'm not going to smooth anything, I'm not going to use any contrast, and I'm not going to shift the edge. But under the output, I'm going to check this decontaminate colors. Now when I check this, I want you to see what happens, especially under this area and around this area. So check. What happened was this option changes the values of the image that you're masking by changing the color of the image around the edges, and that's what it did. It changed the color of the image around the edges. I'm going to undo this and do it again. And now because this is sort of a destructive feature, the output option only allows you to output to a new layer, as you can see here, or a new document. So Photoshop doesn't accidentally damage the original image layer with your changes. So anyway, for that I'm going to select new layer with layer mask. Okay, I'm pretty happy with what I see here. Again, I'm only concentrating around the men's hair. So I'm gonna also, let's not forget, I'm gonna increase this a bit. There we go. And I'm gonna click OK. I'm gonna zoom out, and then under this, select this layer and hold down the Control key or Command key and click on this icon right here to create a layer below. And with black and white, and if you don't have black and white, press D on your keyboard, select the gradient tool, hold down the Shift key and drag from bottom to top and create a gradient. I just want to see what's happening in these areas and how the silhouette actually works with the background. So let's improve the hair here. Let's improve the mask, I should say. So click on the mask, hold down the Alt key or the Option key on the Mac and go inside the mask. Alright, I'm going to select my brush. I'm going to make sure I have a very soft brush and just tap the right bracket key to increase the size of the brush just a bit, and start painting with white and replace some pixels. Okay, okay. All right, I'm going to exit this, and now I'm going to paint with black. Now I'm going to swap the colors here, or you can press X on your keyboard. And painting with black on a mask, it decreases the selected area. So zoom tool, zoom once, B for your brush. Make sure again you have a very soft brush and start painting with black. Nice and slow around. You're not in a hurry, just try to do a good job. Okay. I think we're looking pretty good. Alright, I'm gonna zoom out, and I like what I see so far. Now, when I made the selection, when I used the Refine Edge mask, these areas got affected. So what I need to do is I need to increase the selected area here. So I'm gonna zoom in. I'm going to press B to get the brush back. And I'm going to flip the colors. I'm going to paint with white, and white will increase the selected area. And I'm going to make sure that I have a hard brush. Nice and slow, go all around. And increase the selected area. Now, if you make a mistake, which you definitely will, hold down the X key and start painting with black. See? That's why we're using masks. They're non-destructive. So press X again. Type the right bracket to increase your brush. Oops. Press X again. And you're gonna see me doing this a lot in this exercise. I'm pressing the X and I'm flipping the colors. I'm increasing the selected area and I'm decreasing the selected area, and so on. Press X. Get the shoulder right here. Oops. Let's zoom out a bit. Maybe I can just improve on this. Again, this is just a little tedious, but you can have great results. Okay, zoom out. Press the B again, just to improve on this area just a bit. Alright, something like that. Let's move to the other side. Well, actually, let me improve here as well. Gonna zoom in. Everything is on the details, basically. And that's what I do. Try to make sure that I have a good initial selection, because everything we do will be based on that. So press X, paint with white, press X, paint with black, tap the left bracket, okay, zoom out, and I like what I see. Okay, so save this, and we actually successfully isolated the men's hair and the rest of the silhouette. Alright, now this is going to be our base basically. Okay, from here on we'll continue to select hair and the skin, and to change colors and to start the restoration process. So make sure you're on the layer thumbnail, zoom in, quick selection, click and drag. Alright, again, I didn't get it right the first time. Hold down the Alt key or the Option key to subtract from the selection. And again, I'm not looking for something very accurate. Now, under the Adjustments window, create a new adjustment layer, a new hue saturation adjustment layer. And I have a lot of reds, so under the red channel, desaturate the reds. Not entirely, we don't want to do black and white, something like that. Alright, press the B for the brush. Now what I want to do is I want to improve on the hairline here, and it's a little tricky. So what you do is you make sure you have a soft brush, but also you decrease the opacity. Tap the right bracket, start painting with black, and black, again, to remind you, decreases the selected area. Okay, now I'm going to zoom in here. I want to decrease the selected area around the ear, so I'll press the B. Now this time I'm going to increase to 100%. Tap the left bracket key on your keyboard. Okay, increase the brush again. I'm holding down the space bar as I move around. And again, decrease the brush. Alright, let's zoom out. Let's save this. Okay, save as you go. And I like what I see with the hair so far. Now again, click on this. Actually, let's rename this. Say adjustment layer, and that will be hair. Okay, just to remember what we're doing. Click on the layer thumbnail here, zoom in, quick selection, click and drag, and get a general selection. Alright, now back to adjustments, create a new hue saturation adjustment layer, and we have a lot of reds, as you can see. We do have some yellows, so desaturate the yellows as well, just a little bit, something like that. Back to the reds. Alright, now we need to work on this hairline piece again, okay, where the hair meets with the skin. So back to the brush, make sure you have a very soft brush. I have low opacity, and I'm going to paint with white. I can increase this just a bit. Just keep clicking and painting with white. Oops. Undo this, okay. Okay, let's zoom in. Back to the brush, this time 100%, and decrease the brush size. Spend a little time, don't rush it. Okay, because once you do it right, you do it right. And here you might want to decrease the opacity again. Increase the brush size. Paint with white. There we go. Okay, zoom in a bit. Press the brush again. 100%. Paint with white to increase the selected area. Zoom out, and I think we've done a good job here, right? Now, the other thing you can do is actually you can brighten this up a bit. So for that, I'm going to use another adjustment layer. So I'm going to click back and add a brightness contrast adjustment layer. Now, if I play with these values here, everything will be affected. So what I want to do is I want to clip this to the layer below. Just click here. Now any changes you make here will only affect the layer below. And I'm just going to brighten this up just a bit and increase the contrast. Right, save as you go. And what else we can do? Well, we can work on the man's teeth. So zoom in. Click on the layer mask. Lasso tool. Let me zoom in one more time. Lasso tool, and start selecting the teeth. Okay, something like that. All right. So another hue saturation adjustment layer. I'm going to brighten this up a bit. I'm going to go to the yellows here and desaturate the yellows. And let's double click. See, adjustment. This is the teeth. This is the face. Okay. Face as well. Save as you go. and we're going to work on the jacket. So click on the layer, thumbnail. Actually, let me zoom out. Quick selection tool, click and drag. And of course I didn't get it the first time around, so Alt or Option just to get a general selection. Okay, so again, another adjustment layer, hue saturation, some yellows, but we have reds. There we go. Okay, so let's go in and improve on that mask. So make sure you're in the mask, press the B key. 0% hardness is fine. Increase the brush size, tap the right bracket key, and paint with white to increase the selected area. Swap the colors. Zoom in just a bit. Press B. Swap the colors again. You gotta go slow here. Because you're trying to select only the jacket. So press X, paint with white. Press X to paint with black. And I often do undo. Press X to paint with white. Okay. Maybe a little bit here. A little bit there. Okay, zoom out. It's looking pretty good. Save it. And that will be adjustment layer. That will be the jacket. Alright. And let's improve on the collar and the shirt. So, back to the layer icon here. Quick selection tool. Click and drag. Subtract from selection. Okay, that's enough for now. Hue saturation, adjustment layer, and well, we do have yellows here. Let's see about the reds. Well, we do have reds as well. So let's make sure we're in the mask and let's improve the mask. So B for your brush, zoom in, decrease the brush size, stop painting again, press X, press X again, increase the brush size, careful here a little bit. Well, this shirt meets the skin. Press X, paint with black, press X, paint with white. And I can improve on this area, I think. Let me see here. Let me see, press the B, let me increase the brush. Yeah, I need to paint it with black. Just be careful a little bit here. Alright, let's see what I have. It's looking pretty good. You can actually maybe just improve around here. So paint it with white. Increase the selected area. Around the neck a bit. Okay. Zoom out. Save it. And I think we did a pretty good job restoring them, the silhouette. I can a little bit improve on here. Let me see. Let me zoom a bit. Let me go back to the hair and press the B. Yeah, you see I can improve on this. Okay, as I mentioned before, everything is on the details. So zoom out, save this. Also, let's rename this layer, and that will be the shirt. Okay, so this is before and this is after. There's a lot of changes that we made here. So I'm going to close this part, and on the next part I'm going to take this even further and create a nice composition out of it.